Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. Now that should give him a spark. He's across the 40 to the 43. The Ravens offense going to work, and as usual, it's Lamar Jackson, the former MVP of the league, at the helm.
And if you go by the numbers, he's had a Pro Bowl-type season, and maybe that's even selling him a little bit short. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes to this point in the year, and with the end of the season not too far away, he's got his guys playing at a very high level.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
This will be caught. It's Waddle. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Jalen Waddle, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Ravens have taken the early lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Taking it about the 1. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. So here are the Jaguars now with a long field ahead. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game. Almost like basketball, where both teams press, and one team gets an advantage, other team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
Throwing now, Lawrence on first down. Smith catches left side. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
Yeah, we're definitely in top form and pitched a shutout, as a matter of fact. That's the cherry on top of a great week of preparation. And you know what? These guys are eager to keep it going. So motivation this week, not an issue.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Lawrence looking left side, and he's got a man. That's long. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
They'll run on first down. Long. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The numbers for him from a week ago: 17 carries, 53 yards.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him in this one.
Second down and 8. Hands it off out of the gun. Now loose football. The ball comes out, and the Ravens have got it. There are two words that we hear coaches say all of the time. And now before the ball changes hands, we're going to take a look at this just a minute.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Following the fumble recovery, Lawrence. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. And now headed the other way. They're across midfield. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A 71-yard punt return. And the Ravens are able to show off their quick strike ability.
When you've got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach, but it's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they mishit the ball and kick it right to him.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
For most people, the excitement of the kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder into ball carrier, and down he goes.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Now Lawrence. Open man is the tight end, Nick Boyle. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
Lawrence on 3rd down. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Justin Madubuike. It's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson. Going for the deep ball. And this is caught. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Jalen Waddle. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Tucker now to add the point after. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. Taking it about the 1. And he's going to be out of bounds here as the run back will leave him shy of the 20-yard line. Jacksonville set to go again offensively. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. He finds his man complete. That's Walton. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a 1st down, pick it up, and keep moving.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Lawrence to throw. And it's caught on the right side at Smith. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Throwing again on second down. Lawrence throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And the defense, they'll spread the field, a dime package here on 3rd and 12. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. It's Kyler Duggar who picks it. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Tucker now for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. This taken in at the goal line. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder in the ball carrier, and down he goes.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Second and 20. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. From the shotgun, Lawrence. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now. The Ravens heading out on offense as we look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it. It's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Jackson from the shotgun. Open man is Waddle, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big play that time through the air. 31 yards.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. Catch is made by Metcalf. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's the #2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be #2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be #1.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on 1st down. That is caught. It's Bateman for a Raven touchdown. Rashad Bateman, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens are able to add on to their first-half lead. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So that drive, 4 plays, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From the 6. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville offense ready to go back to work. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground. But that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him now over 3,000 yards passing on the campaign.
And Brandon, I think we have to start to think about where we are in the season, because right now, 4,000 is not out of the question. I think a big game or two, he's certainly capable of getting that done.
They go play action now. Lawrence. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
He's second in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Lawrence to throw. That is throw is incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
The Jaguars on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Lawrence going to throw again. Complete. Smith has it. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Well, the coverage was tight that time. They allowed the pass underneath to him, but they rallied to him pretty fast, too. Converged on him and got him down. That'll bring up 4th down.
This will be fielded at the 17. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Such an impressive punt return, 83 yards. And the Ravens add on.
Well, if you're into cheesy movies, you would title this one A Half to Remember, wouldn't you? His 2nd return touchdown of the game.
What if I'm not into cheesy movies?
Well, go ahead and get into it, man, because I just did it, and you're going to green light that one. How about those returns? Maybe they ought to think about not kicking him the ball.
Yeah, they might want to go away from him in the future. Tucker with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. We know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. From the 6. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Jags football again. DJ Chark ready to rock and roll. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the 2nd quarter, and they're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's 2 sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion, anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. Here's 2nd and 10. Now Lawrence to Boyle here over the middle. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 7. Lawrence will throw. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. 2nd quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Here's Logan Cook now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Now a fair catch signaled for and made right about the 43-yard line. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it could be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
A nice little juke and some room to maneuver. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, 57 yards. And the Ravens continue to pour it on.
Sometimes running plays hit or break so fast, there's no reaction time from the secondary. So I've got to give credit to the offensive line for creating that hole so suddenly. And how decisive was he to take that cut and just go? No one downfield there to stop him.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Takes it at the 7. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Look at DJ Chark as he and the rest of the offense head back out. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Yeah, something to get in the ball. We'll see if they can do it. Over the middle, complete. It's Smith. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. On first down, Lawrence into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
After the interception, here's Jackson. There's the stiff arm. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal. They'll run with Dobbins. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. J.K. Dobbins with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Ravens add on.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. And the route is on here in this first half. Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville offense ready to go back to work. The second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates.
find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Lawrence. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And that will be incomplete as well.
They went with the dive look that time on defense. Just flooded the field with defensive backs. Blanketed everyone. Took away all the passing angles. Thus, the incompletion.
Here's Logan Cook now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Jackson on 1st down. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Touchdown! DK Metcalf in the final seconds of the first half. And the Ravens will extend their lead here just before halftime.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Tucker with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Four seconds, all that remain here in this first half as the kick gets away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll begin up at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. And it's the Browns who are out on top. Jarvis Landry, a touchdown reception. From there, we head over to the Pacific Northwest, check on the Seahawks at home in Seattle. And this one going the visitors' way as the Cardinals have the lead in that one. Kyler Murray throwing the football well. He has 3 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get to the country music capital of the world and see what's happening with the Titans at home in Nashville. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. In the game you're watching, we've seen a strong first half out of Lamar Jackson. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports. Returning it, Johnson. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They'll start the third quarter here on the ground. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance, they're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Tucker now to add the point after. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for him.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack as a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Lawrence's throw taken in by Chark. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Here's Logan Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time.
That's
I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Right back to Dobbins on first. It's a first down and more for Dobbins. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, 43 yards. And the Ravens continue to pour it on. That run going to put him over 100 yards now for the ball game as well.
Yeah, he's really had his way so far, and that's just more of the same right here. All he needs, just a little crease, and off he goes.
Tucker now for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Taken in at the 3. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Here's Lawrence. Got an open man here, and it's K.J. Hamler. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
To throw again on 2nd down, Lawrence. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down. Back to throw. Lawrence. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
Here's Logan Cook now, standing just outside his own goal line. He'll take it at the 42. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. 58 yards, the distance covered on the punt return. return. And the Ravens get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. Well, it's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. Taken at the goal line. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now out come the Jags. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
The open man is Shark. It's complete. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. A nice throw there for a good gain and a first down. Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Now a give right side. Long. Despite the strong run, he'll be hit and dropped shy of the 45. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second. From the gun on third down. Lawrence. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. Now Dobbins again on second down. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 145 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. They go play action with Jackson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. A leap, and he's got it. He got it. And he'll get this way down into Jacksonville territory. It's a big play there for Baltimore. Prime example there of how his height can be an advantage. It makes it tough on some of these smaller defensive backs.
When they try and go through that type of a receiver to get the football, oftentimes that big body, that frame will block them away. And whether the receiver had
got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Jalen Waddle with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Ravens add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. And you wonder now if he might be able to remove the helmet, put on the baseball cap, and watch the rest of this one from the sideline. His 5th touchdown pass of the game.
Say that again. Did you say 5th touchdown pass of the game?
Yes, sir.
But that's a heck of a performance, isn't it? Because they've had no answer for him at all game long. Receivers have been open constantly, and he hasn't missed.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Taken in at the 3. And he's going to be out of bounds here right at the 20-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And as we take a look at the playoff picture, certainly still a lot of jostling to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
So much to play for, and remember, 7 teams in each conference go to the playoffs instead of 6. And not to mention, remember when the league made that move a few seasons ago to put divisional games at the end of the year? So you get to week 16 and 17, you're playing for playoff spots, and you're playing divisional games. Couldn't be more exciting than that.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. Lawrence. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. And this one complete to Smith. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remote's clicking off right now. To throw, Huntley. And they'll go back to Smith. This time it's complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Huntley to throw. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. The 20. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Kyle Pitts, 76 yards. yards. And the Ravens are on their way to a sensational 13-0 start as they extend their lead here. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Now Tucker to add the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move.
And he's taken down, back at his own 7. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. That's 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 158 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Oh, he shifts past him. Room here to run. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Tucker now to add the point after. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Taken in at the 3. And deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Tucker with the extra point. And that will extend this big lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This fielded right at the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
Tucker now for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kicks away following that fumble return. This will be fielded inside the 5. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Jaguars back with it on offense. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a...
And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. That one looks like he'll throw here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit. But for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not in their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop us, we're not supposed to pull back ourselves.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he loses the football a second time. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation...
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. He finds his man, complete. It's long. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. Now Lawrence on 3rd and long. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's Logan Cook now. as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. Taking on the midfield logo. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Ravens, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year. And they'll have another road date next week with the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, they can ill afford to drop too many more as they fall to 7-6 on the year. And they will get a home date next week against the Los Angeles Chargers. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.